This video is going to center around why you don't have to achieve 10,000 steps a day for fat loss or any other fucking reason. One of the first things you need to know when you look at 10,000 steps a day is why. Why do people say 10,000 steps a day? One of the main reasons is for energy expenditure. Now, when we talk about energy expenditure, what we need to do is first have an understanding of the things that can affect your energy expenditure and what kind of processes within our body will expend energy. So, one of the first things we need to look at is your total daily your total daily energy expenditure, which is made up of four main components. Your BMR, or your basal metabolic rate, which basically means if you're lying on the sofa doing absolutely nothing all day long, it's the amount of energy your body needs just to maintain its internal processes. Your NEAT stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So that will be everything that is not planned exercise. So for me, scratching my ear to moving my feet, walking to and from my car, picking groceries out, doing my day-to-day shopping, that kind of stuff is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. EA stands for exercise activity. So that is pre-planned, programmed physical exercise. And TEF stands for the thermogenic effect of food, which is basically the energy your body uses to digest and absorb the nutrients in your food. Now, all of them make up your TDEE. Where your 10k steps a day comes in is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. However, your total daily energy expenditure is affected by a hell of a lot more than just how many steps you do or how active you are on a day-to-day basis. As you can see here on the board, I've put it down because I'm absolutely useless at remembering this stuff off the top of my head, especially when I'm doing a video, is that your total daily energy expenditure is affected by your age. So depending on how old you are will depend on how much energy you need. Obviously, a 5-year-old's energy requirements, a 25-year-old energy requirements, and maybe a 95-year-old are going to have a different varying energy needs. Your exercise, and I have D and I, thankfully I can remember that means duration and intensity. So again, are you doing 45-minute sessions, pushing yourself to within your max heart rate for the whole lot of it? Or are you doing much, I suppose, less intense exercise, things like yoga and Pilates? And no offense to anyone does that because I know how intense that can be. I'm just using it as an example. Your environment can play a big role in terms of the heat, cold, rain. Like if it's raining all day like we are at the moment while I'm recording this video in November, that the weather outside can be very, very temperamental, so it might even affect you getting out and about. Stress levels. Obviously, when some people are highly stressed, they burn more energy. When some people are highly stressed, they burn a lot less. So again, it depends on your own internal processes and how you react and deal with that stress. Your hormone imbalances or your hormonal processes can have an effect on your energy balance. Your own personal genetics. So those are things that you have no control over but can affect the amount of energy that you use on a day-to-day basis. We all know somebody that can eat what they want and never gains weight. They might just have good genetics. Your body composition can play a role in it. So in terms of your body fat content and your muscle mass content, obviously a person that has more muscle mass is going to burn more calories in relative terms to the person that has a little bit less. And then your overall health or illness and medications that you might be on to counteract those can obviously play an effect with your overall metabolic rate, which in turn affects the amount of energy that you use on a day-to-day basis. So let's have a quick look. So when we talk about 10k steps a day, you're looking at simply increasing your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. But when we talk about that, you're looking at energy in versus energy out. So if we look at 10k steps a day, that's in the energy out category. Now, you have a lot less control over that than you do over the energy that you take in. Without going into too much detail, energy in is the food that you eat. Simple as that. So if you take in 2,000 calories a day, you have 2,000 calories worth of energy that your body can use or it can store. So you can use it for energy or you can store it as body fat to use it as energy at a later date. So energy out is something that you have very little control over because your energy expenditure relies on all of these factors on a day-to-day basis, constantly changing. So the amount of energy out, even though we might have trackers, I have my one on charge, even though we might have trackers here that will tell us how many calories we are burning off, they tend to be very, very inaccurate and tend to grossly overestimate the amount of calories that we burn off. So you might initially do 5,000 steps and it might tell you burned off 500 calories. But if you continue to do that same course, that same walk, that same distance, your body gets fitter and stronger at walking and at doing that distance at pace. So you burn off less and less calories the fitter you get. So it's very, very hard to control energy out. So people that say you have to hit 10k steps a day, pardon my French, but they don't have a fucking clue what they're talking about. If you're hitting 5k steps a day at the moment and you simply increase your step count to 6k or 7k every day by going for an extra walk or parking a little bit further from the shopping centre so you walk a little bit further to get there, that's increasing your non-exercise activity, it's increasing your step count and it's increasing your energy out. But I wouldn't rely on it. Why? Because if you are using steps to offset a shitty diet, you will lose long term because you are simply trying to put up a dam against the flood of calories that's coming towards you. And eventually, if those calories keep coming, that dam is not going to be strong enough to hold back the tide. And you're going to find yourself either hitting a really, really long-term plateau or you're going to find yourself regaining any weight that you've lost in the short term. So let's have a quick look at steps, right? And again, this whole 10,000 steps thing bugs me because it's not just steps. You don't have to just walk. So I've heard of people that have like, oh, I have 2k steps left, better get out for a walk, right? There's so much more that you can do in terms of steps because there I am, I'm even using steps. But steps basically refers to general activity that is not planned exercise. So if I do a weight session at home or in the gym, that's planned exercise. If I'm going to do my shopping and I'm carrying bags around the shopping centre or I'm holding a basket and I'm bringing it to and from the car and packing it away in the kitchen, that's a non-exercise activity. So again, it's just activity. So other things, housework. Do you know, if it's 9 o'clock at night and it's lashing rain and you want to get your steps up or you want to increase your activity levels, start doing some housework, clean the floors, do the dishes, sort some washing, hoover the stairs, mop the floor, do whatever it is you want to do. Playing with your children. Do you know, there's days where I have felt during both lockdowns, including this one, whereby I've not felt like doing any planned exercise. So I will go down the green and play hurling or soccer with Tommy, or we'll wrestle, or we'll just run around the house. General movement. So again, parking a little bit further from your office, parking a little bit further from the supermarket, instead of collecting the kids from school by driving up to get them if the weather's nice, by walking up. Sorry, my memory ran out on my phone, so I'll pick up where I was left off. Having sex. Again, that adds to your general activity levels. I don't know who leaves their tracker on when they do that and how many steps you get done. And I suppose it depends whether you're top or the bottom. Anyway, doing your job would be the next one. If you work as a tradesman or you work on a building site or you work in a gym all day and you're constantly on your feet and you might be doing minimal amounts of exercise on a day-to-day basis, or you're doing loads of exercise and taking part in instructing classes and stuff like that, then doing your job is going to increase your steps or your activity to a level whereby you will probably have no problem hitting 10,000 steps a day. Even gardening, getting out and about and picking weeds out of your garden, cutting your grass with your lawnmower, fidgeting, you know, even as I kind of scratch my ear there, or I'm scratching my leg, or I'm moving about, or I'm sitting on the couch and my leg is twitching up and down, it all adds to our energy expenditure and our general non-exercise activity. So you do not need to hit 10,000 steps a day. All you need to look at is if you're hitting 5k steps a day, if you're tracking your general activity and you increase it to 6 or 7 and you see a difference in your weight on the scale, or you feel a difference in your energy levels, or you feel like your clothes are starting to fit a little bit better in terms of your progress, then perhaps that extra little calorie burn that it's giving you is helping you in the right direction. Or maybe being more active is causing you to make better other healthy choices. So you might be eating better, thinking to yourself, well, do you know what, if I'm going to be a lot more active, what's the point in having 3 takeaways a week and then eating out at the weekend and not tracking my calories and having a load of chocolate at night time every night watching TV or something like that. So to summarize, see where you're currently at with your activity levels, okay? And ask yourself, can I look at my nutrition to control my calories in, because that is a lot more controllable than trying to use steps or general activity. You have less control there to focus on your energy out. That's one of the big things. So do you need to hit 10k steps a day? Fuck no. Do you need to be generally active for an overall healthy lifestyle? Sure, it helps. Is it absolutely necessary? No. If you have any questions about anything I've covered in this video, leave a comment wherever the comments go in this this platform, whether you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, or wherever. I'd love to hear from you. If you watched this far and you haven't cut me off already, thank you. It means a hell of a lot that you would listen to me for that long. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching.